Good evening and welcome to the Portland regular council meeting of May 13th, 2014. Please join me in the Pledge of Allegiance, the Lord's Prayer, and a moment of silence for our men and women serving overseas.
I pledge allegiance
to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
our Father, who art in heaven,
Hallowed be thy name. Thy kingdom come, thy will be done, on earth as it is in heaven. Give us this day our daily bread, and forgive us our trespasses, as we forgive those who trespass against us. And lead us not into temptation, but deliver us from evil. For thine is the kingdom, the power, and the glory, forever and ever. Amen.
thank you. Clerk, please call the roll.
Mike Snyder,
Present.
Ron Ackerman,
After work.
Present.
Lisa Sardi,
Present.
Gabe Velo,
Present.
Jerry Tiroli,
Present.
Nicole DeFreitas,
Present.
Margaret Phillips.
Excused. Now would the councilman please go around and introduce their student for this evening? I will start, actually. Mine is Colin Salyers, and he is the president of council for this evening. But earlier today, he was the bailiff.
Thank you, Madam President. I must have. I have John Morton. John is a junior at Fort Clinton High School. He works at the Jet Express. He is also an explorer with the fire department. His dad has been a member of the fire department for decades now. John's favorite class is, of course, Mr. Staff's government class, and his least favorite class is also, ironically, Mr. Staff's government class. And you'd like to say something? Okay, thank you. Thank you.
Oh, thank you, Madam President. I like it better when Mr. Snyder sat on the other side of the table and I have to follow him. My student, please stand, is Cal Laurel. Cal is also a junior. Cal's activities outside of school involve football, basketball, and freshman mentoring. And Cal is also the president-elect of the class of 2015. Anything you'd like to add, Cal? Thank you very much for coming tonight.
I am pleased to welcome Terrell Turner to council chambers. Terrell is a junior. He's in the magnificent Port Clinton High School marching band, like I was back several years ago. It's his first time doing Student Government Day, but he's been to a city council meeting before, so glad he's here. I asked him what his favorite part about Port Clinton was, which is kind of a lame question, but he said being on the lake and being able to fish is his answer. So, great answer. Thanks for being here.
My student is Cole Argus, junior at Port Clinton High School. He's a member of the renowned DECA Club. We all know they've been known for years and years. He's also a freshman mentor. He enjoys track, plays football in the fall.
Great.
I was trying to think what his activities are. My person is Gabe DeFreitas, my son. He is a junior at Fort Clinton High School. He is the current class president of the class, and he's involved in International Club, National Honor Society, orchestra, and he's very active in other outside activities, as most people know. And so, do you have anything you'd like to say?
Mr. Scaff had a really original assignment.
Yeah. And he's also the videographer for the city, so there's kind of a phantom Gabe over there right now. And then for Ms. Phillips, Mackenzie, yes, Mackenzie Stein is her person. Mackenzie's involved in future professionals of medicine, swimming, National Honor Society, Leadership Council. She's also served as student council officer in the past. And so would you like to say anything?
Hi, thanks for having me. Okay. Oh, I'm sorry. I didn't see you down there. Okay. My student is Raven Rogers. She is a junior and she works at high school. And she speaks in bowling. And she doesn't plan on going to college. She's not sure what it is. Well, do you have anything to say? She got stuff from the best person here. Council, before you this evening, you have the minutes of the March 26th special meeting and the April 22nd regular meeting. Could I have a motion to accept the minutes as written? Thank you, Mr. Tiroli. Could I have a second? Thank you, Mrs. Sardi. Any discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Thank you. The chair notes that certification has been received regarding compliance with the rules of notification of this meeting. And because we didn't have enough on our agenda, we have a guest presentation this evening by the Main Street organization. You may go now. That was your introduction.
You kind of got to thump me a little harder. I'm John Madison. I'm with Main Street. I also own the Frederick Agency downtown. I want to thank you very much for this time just to tell you a little bit about Main Street, Port Clinton. I know there's some folks here who may be relatively new and don't really understand what we do. So I just wanted to kind of, we thought we'd go through some of the things, help you understand this a little bit better. We have a board of directors. The officers are Roseanne Hickman. She's the president. Missy Walker from First National Bank is the past president. Amy Slater West from Slater's Madison Street Pub is the vice president. Larry Hartlaw, Ottawa County Auditor, is our treasurer, and Jim Recker from Vernon Wolf Walker Funeral Home is our secretary. And the board of directors is Dana Basic Lynn, who I think is here this evening. And she's with the Civilian Marksmanship Program. Don Clemens, America's Best Value. Jasmine Kopp, The Beacon. Lori Madison from the Frederick Agency. William Moore from Erie Shoreline Properties, and Amy Northrup, resident. The reason why we want to show you that is there's a real mix of people here. There are people from big businesses, small businesses, and no businesses. And that really makes up what Main Street is and what we're trying to do in the downtown area. So we just want to share that with you. Board of Directors ex officio are Mayor Vince Leone from the City of Port Clinton, Council person Linda Hartlaw, City of Port Clinton, and Dwayne Myers, Lake Erie Shores and County. Main Street Port Clinton is a 501c3 organization. What we're doing is we're striving to revitalize historic downtown Port Clinton. That's what we're about. We have 385 supporters. We are a public-private partnership. What we do is there are things for which we can apply for grants and bring in expertise in certain areas, and we like to share those with the city when we can. And I think that's very important because we don't think any private organization can get anything done without working with the city as well, or the public. That would also include the county, or the county. We're a volunteer-driven program. We have easily over 5,000 hours in all of the activities that we do. We joined, in 2008, we joined forces with the Chamber. It became apparent to us in a community this small, a lot of towns have a chamber and they have a Main Street, and it became apparent to us that we were really performing a lot of the functions redundantly. And so we got together and we worked out an agreement that's worked out very nicely, where we share staff with the Chamber, and we kind of do the downtown revitalization area things, and the Chamber does the Port Clinton Area Chamber of Commerce functions, and it's worked out beautiful. Our mission statement is that Main Street Port Clinton is striving to promote, preserve, and improve downtown Port Clinton as a vibrant center for businesses, entertainment, and cultural activities for residents of the community and visitors in the area. And our vision statement, this is the one I really like. This is one that motivates me. Accessible by water or land, downtown Port Clinton, a popular destination on Lake Erie, is a thriving community welcoming residents and visitors alike to enjoy the unique shops, excellent restaurants, year-round entertainment, and cultural activities located within beautifully restored historic downtown. That's what I would really like to accomplish. We do strategic planning. Once we discovered that we needed to do strategic planning, we found we were a much more effective organization. And annually, we review our goals and our work plans. We actually have a 12-point work plan with goals for each one of our areas of expertise. And we go through that and we stick to those. Because what we found is if we change those midstream in the middle of the year, we end up getting nothing done. So every year we sit down, now we've got it down to about half a day, and we decide what our goals are for the following year, and that's what we do. And we review of the mission and vision statement to make sure that that's still key to motivate us to get done what we need to do. Set goals, action items, completion dates, and a budget. And this also creates accountability, because what we do is when we meet on a monthly basis, we report what we've done that month relative to the goal that was given to our committee. And we find the whole thing is very effective. We have annual dinner awards, April 10th, 2014. It was a joint meeting with the Chamber. There were over 180 in attendance. That was a record crowd for that. They recognized Volunteer of the Year and the Business of the Year. That's what Main Street does. We pull a business and an individual for Volunteer of the Year. And that's where we also elect our board, our members to the board and the officers. Okay, this time I'm going to turn it over to Roseanne.
What John failed to mention was that he was our Volunteer of the Year. Woohoo! Yay! And Amy Slater's Madison Street Pub was our Business of the Year. I'm going to talk a little bit about the promotion committee. This is just one of our small committees within our organization. Their primary focus is to sell a positive community image. So some of the things that they do is they coordinate different events, such as the Downtown Trick or Treat, the Zombie Pub Crawl, and the Community Christmas. This brings not only visitors but our local people into our downtown to visit some of our retail shops, our local establishments. I think last year our Downtown Trick or Treat, we had like 220 children and about 30 businesses participate. So that was our second year. So that was quite an effective rolling event. Another one of their projects is the downtown brochure and the downtown coupon page. The coupon page is distributed, 8,000 copies are distributed, and the downtown brochure, 15,000 are distributed annually. We put those around local businesses. They go out to new residents in mailings, and they are put on the website. And our Facebook page, currently we are listing the different coupons from our coupon page also. This is our downtown commercial. This is something we're really proud of. Our promotion committee worked with Nick James Productions to create this downtown commercial that we have been sharing on YouTube. And I think if you click on that, will it play? Try it. We don't know. We're not real technical. We're going to give it a shot. Yep. Click.
Yeah, but do we have a connection to the...
We're going to find out.
We're totally going over.
Just click like I do.
I
Just
did.
do that.
It's click, honey. It's got that. Yes.
Okay.
Well, anyway, we have a really cool commercial.
It's a really cool commercial. If you get a chance.
There it goes.
Maybe show you how much.
Oh, look, he clicked a few times.
We tried this once with a different network and it worked fine. Sure.
Look at Enjoy Downtown Portland.
Yeah.
Up there. You gotta click on that one. Click over. Yeah. It's just slow. That's at night when the main guys are here. Oh, great. So you get the idea. I mean, that was a really great commercial. And it's on YouTube, and we have this to use for future marketing. We just finished this in the fall, so we didn't do a whole lot with it yet. Now we're going to share the website. You can click on that too. You have to try just once. There's no interest. This is something else the promotion committee has been working very hard on, is creating a new website.
Please send it to the system. There you go.
So if you get an opportunity, please visit historicportclinton.com. Mess around with it, go to different places, see what all is on there. Our committees are working on. There's coupons on there. There's all kinds of fun things. So please get on the website, share it with your friends, go to the YouTube video, share it on your Facebook, share it with your friends, email it to everybody. You know, if you have friends in other communities, ask them to share it. We're hoping that that goes viral in the future, and we can use that for all kinds of fun marketing things. Oh, we're the downtown trick or treat. We talked a little bit about that already, but I think this will give you a few pictures.
Who's Alex?
What?
Who's Alex? There's home.
Oh, yeah. Oh, and there's Tristan. Again, this was really a successful event. It was a lot of fun for the kids. It is held on the Saturday, right around Halloween. You know, we do the zombie pub crawl then that evening. I think we're going to that next. But the downtown trick-or-treat, they held from 1 to 3. And again, a lot of businesses participated, and we saw a lot of people within the community and friends and family from other towns coming in. And the great thing is some of those people went into businesses that they had never been in. And they told us that. You know, they came into the business, you know, brought their children in to get candy, and we're like, wow, I didn't know you had this here. And it was so great. The one year Mary ran out of candy and the kids had flowers, and I think they liked that better than candy, shockingly. The zombie pub crawl, this was our 2nd year, and we were well over 200 people. I think there were 7 establishments, and it was just great fun, had by all. That is becoming a popular event. A lot of communities are doing it, and again, the nice thing is I heard people comment that they stayed here instead of getting on the jet, and that's what I wanted to hear. Stay here in town, don't go to Clinton. We can have just as much fun here. Beauty Christmas. This is always held on the first Saturday in December. We partner with the city for the gift of lights and participate in that. Our Christmas parade, we had about 25 entries this year. I think in 2014, we're talking about making it a lighted Christmas parade. So it'll be dusk and your foot will be lit up. And that will be something amazing too. And Santa shows up every year and participates with us, comes in, sometimes on a fire truck, sometimes on a horse-drawn sleigh. If anybody knows anybody with a horse-drawn sleigh, please see me afterwards. We're looking for one. It's a nice event. Again, people can come downtown. The shops, we encourage them to stay open. We have cookie decorating contests, coloring contests. We encourage everybody to bring their families, go into the different shops. All of the businesses run specials and participate with us. So it's a great partnership with us and the community and the city, all working together to bring people into downtown. At this point, I'm going to turn it over to Larry. You're going to keep it quick. Okay.
How you doing? I'm Larry Hartlove. I'm the chairman of the Economic Construction Committee. I'm also the treasurer of Main Street. So we'll get started on what the Economic Construction Committee is charged with doing. So we're charged with strengthening existing assets and expanding, diversifying our economic base downtown within the borders of Main Street. It's kind of a big task. It's one of those things that we all wish we had the magic button to do, like just push it and getting more jobs, more growth, more property tax, all that stuff. Unfortunately, we don't have that. What we do have is a bunch of small incremental steps in order to attempt to make a small change over time. I've been chairman now, I think we're going on 3 years, and we're starting to build a list of small victories, and I'm hoping it's just, something that helps contribute over time to those goals. Included in that was the downtown inventory, which is going down, finding, and part of this work was done before, years ago, before Ministry, I think,
It's constantly, we're always.
Right, so it's one of those things that constantly update, but it's, every building is categorized, we try to maintain who owns what, how much space is available, what kind of utilities are available, contact information if you wanted to rent a vacant property, general condition of the building, what it's made of, even some historical information in case they wanted to apply for tax credits, any sort of historic tax credits, so you can maintain that sort of thing, so when it was built and all that sort of stuff. One of our other projects was the Revitalization District. This is actually a partnership between Main Street and the city, which is something you'll hear a lot from us, because that's what we like to do. We have a pretty close relationship with the city. Our goal here was to get it, basically the borders of Main Street designated as a revitalization district. This allowed us to get 15 new D5L liquor permits in the downtown area. I think as of the day, I've heard of 2 that are actually applied for and will be going into activity. Those were new ones. They didn't replace old ones, which was one of the things we heard that, everybody's just going to flop it out and sell out. But no, it's actually new restaurants coming in, obtaining these licenses and businesses. And the bonus of that is they're new, so you don't have to go on the open market and pay the premium for bringing in the liquor licenses. You can actually get a fresh one issued from the state of Ohio. It has to stay here in Brooklyn. They can't get it and then sell it out. So it has to stay within the boundaries of the district. So it gives us a little competitive advantage, gives access to a bunch more liquor licenses, which hopefully bring more restaurants and diversity, bring that kind of critical mass. Next thing is the community investment area. I believe this is still in planning development committee. It's something that's been, takes a while. This is a tax incentive program for if someone wants to do new investment within the boundaries. This basically takes the new property value of that investment and gives them a tax abatement for X amount of years going forward. So it basically doesn't penalize someone for wanting to put money into one of our downtown buildings. So if you want to go invest your private dollars into one of our downtown buildings, this program will allow you to get a tax abatement on that, so you don't just increase your property tax bill. So hopefully it makes it a little easier to make that decision. Finally, this is one of our big ones, the Downtown Improvement Grant we started this last year. We actually just offered a cash grant of $15,000, up to $15,000 to anybody that was doing any kind of improvement on the building downtown. We were actually able to give away 4 of these last year, and I think we got a list of that coming up. Who we got next? And we do. So it's downtown businesses and building owners where people are eligible within the historic downtown district of Main Street, Brooklyn. You got to improve your property. This could be anything from facade improvements to HVAC to anything that was a substantial improvement to your building that made it easier for you to go on and do business and make a positive impact. We're hoping to enhance the aesthetic appeal. And we always like to make a point that we can do all this because of the success of the Walleye Festival. It's our biggest fundraiser every year. It's going to be a smashing success again, but Roseanne will talk about that later. And we couldn't go out and give money back to the community like this if it wasn't for them. So these were the recipients last year. Clinton House, they did a cut point and break. I don't know if you've been down there and seen the work they've done on that building. They've done a phenomenal job. We're way above and beyond what money we gave them. But we gave them $6,700 last year. We helped the Island House with some cut point and break work. That's $6,700. Madison Street, Port Clinton, that is actually the chamber building, and they did some painting in the back. And Perfect Color here in Kane got a new sign. It looks very nice. One of our other projects back was a PC business booklet. We actually still have this, and I forgot to bring it with me.
They're here.
Oh, they're here. We have some right up here, and it is a step-by-step guide, kind of a reference manual if you were going to start a business in Portland. It has some easy places to go, government officials where you need to go for permitting, either an insurance business, if you need an insurance man, you need an accountant, you need a lawyer. Has all those things in there listed so that you can one-stop reference. Open up the book and go ahead and take a look at what you got there. And design committee. These guys are charged big downtown in good shape, looking good. Aesthetic is the word here. They are trying to improve it. They have helped in creating and implementing downtown plan for inventory and setting up like an inventory of public improvements like the flower planters, the fencings and all that, the receptacles. I know they off and on help with design guidelines and buildings and stuff of that nature. And they've been the one that have been out there pursuing grants for the bench plants and trash receptacles you see downtown. I think we now finally got all the ones that we want to purchase, all in the same style, all implemented and put out downtown across the area, and that was somewhere around $145,000 to obtain all that. And we were able to do that all through, I think all that was grant. So actually, most of it was, yeah. So, so that's another one of those things that we do to give back to the community. And going forward. Good. So I think we're back to Roseanne on the Walleye Festival.
I think that, as you know, we have all shown you, we're working really hard to improve our downtown, and we just continue to work on that with our strategic planning and following everything that we've set forth. We cannot do all of this without the Walleye Festival. This is our 34th year. I know I've only been around a few years, but wow, I can't imagine 30 years from now saying we're still at Walleye Fest. But it can happen. This is our largest fundraiser. This is a very small committee. Dana, 10 or less maybe?
There's 7 of us.
7 people that put this event together. And this is huge. They meet weekly, and the work that they do in that conference room is just phenomenal. It's been estimated between 5,000 and 12,000 people attend each day, and I think most of us know last year Nicole did a study for us, an economic impact study, and shared with us that festival brings in well over $1 million just to our community. That's pretty phenomenal. Our advanced ride tickets are on sale right now at $40. You will be entered to win an iPod if you buy an advance ticket. They are on sale at Great Lakes Popcorn and the Chamber office downtown. The parade. The Civilian Marksmanship has sponsored our parade once again, our grand parade. This is a fun parade to attend. It starts at 1 o'clock on Saturday at the Walleye Festival. I do have an actual schedule here and parade application. We are asking any civic organization, any business, anything that you want to do to bring into the parade. I think there's going to be some really creative floats this year. So I know the FOPA is putting one together that's pretty cool. So I challenge any of you who's on to try to beat us, because it's going to be pretty awesome. Come out, bring your children, watch the parade. The Skipper Buds Fishing Derby is on Sunday afternoon? Sunday afternoon. I do have the schedule here. That event, to watch those kids catching those fish is just amazing. So even if you don't enjoy fishing and you like to watch children fishing, come down and watch them because they really have a good time. And it's neat to watch their faces. And I think they dumped the fish in a few days before, but the kids had a blast with it. The Marine Max Kids Activity Area, I think this year there's all kinds of things going on. I've heard face painting, cookie decorating, various activities for children. So again, all of this is free. Bring your friends, family, kids down. Do all of this free fun stuff. The Walleye Walk Run. This benefits Ruth Ann's house, our Mexican Violent Park Shelter.
And the Parks and Rec.
I was getting there. I always put Ruth Ann's house first. Okay. Girls first. And Port Clinton Parks and Rec. So this will be held on Sunday morning, the 25th. I have registration forms here. This is a fun event. I think we had about 180 last year?
Yeah, over 200.
Over 200. This is pretty incredible. If you're not a runner, come and walk it.
So again, the registration forms are here. Registration starts at 9 the day of the race. The race starts promptly at 10. And awards will be presented in the entertainment tent following the race. And yes, please come down. Are you rushing me?
No.
Please come down to the Walleye Fest. I encourage all of you to bring your friends and family. Again, everything that we do for downtown, we couldn't do without the Walleye Fest. So please bring your friends and family. And the entertainment tent, the entertainment this year is amazing. And again, that's free to come in the tent and see the band. So come on down.
Okay. One last thing I think we want to talk about is our role in the CDBG breakfast that we, I don't know if we hosted or co-hosted or what we did, but with Potomayor Design, the Chamber, Main Street, the City of Port Clinton. We brought down all property owners that we could invite. And actually, I remember the discussion being like, we weren't sure, maybe 10, 12 might show up. Well, a lot of people had like 40, and the room was packed, and there was a bunch of energy in the room. The target area for this was massive, the Second Street, some of the projects you guys are working on here. And we're just hoping that we can do whatever we can to help leverage some local match dollars, get people interested, bring them to the table in order to make us the most competitive when we apply for these grant funds here at Port Clinton. And you know, make sure that everybody's aware of it so they can take advantage as well. So we're hoping to help you guys promote some of the things you're doing downtown in the same fashion. The grant funds here for any kind of improvements, they seem pretty extensive. Facade improvements, and maybe we'll jump in a little bit on some of these, but facade improvements, I think roof improvements, I mean, it seemed like some pretty structural issues. So they seem pretty loose. I know they're applying for a very large pool money. Was it 600,000 or 300? So, and these are direct grants. And these are direct grants to these property owners for them to make improvements. These are real impacts on our community. So, I mean, these are exciting times just to see the interest, the level of interest. I know they try to do it in the past, and it's just tough to get people out. But there's a new energy out there. So it's really exciting.
I just want to kind of add to that. These grants are given, one of the things that they look for when they consider who's going to win these grants is your percentage of participation, your percentage of interest in the community. So when we put this out there and we're expecting 10 to 40 property owners show up, that told us there's a lot of excitement and interest being generated right now, just to segue on what you were saying. Right. So that part of this is very important. We were very much encouraged from the seller. People are really interested in revitalizing downtown. Anything else?
Just that we also use this opportunity to roll out the second phase of the downtown improvement grant that we're hoping that we can kind of pull together with this one and use it as a local match money for making the grant application more competitive. That there's a local source outside the city government from private enterprise that we can work with. So hopefully that makes us even more competitive in the process. If that's okay.
Mr. Yanni has a question.
I have a question for the treasurer. Larry, how is that $1.2 million that you guys get from the Walleye Festival shared with the Main Street in the city?
Oh, we don't get
that's just
economic impact.
Yeah.
The money we get from it is all the money we do it. We are 501c3 and we manage our books that are audited. We refile them with the IRS.
If you consider all the money from the people coming in from outside into Port Clinton, they spend $1,032,000. That's what that is.
Right. Our cut. That's we don't get all that.
Yeah, that's not our money.
Right.
That'd be amazing.
Right.
So, what kind of budget do you guys operate on?
Somewhere around
About 30 grand.
Yeah.
About 30 grand a year before it, with the grants and everything.
And we generate most of that through Walleye Fest.
Yeah.
Actually, almost all.
You never figured out what your profit was from the Walleye Festival?
It's about 30 or 40.
About 30 grand. That's our biggest fundraiser.
Right.
In a good.
That's how we raise our money.
Right.
And what part does the city pay in financing Main Street?
We receive $10,000 in the city. And we hope that the things that we get back are more than handful for them.
Thank you.
Thank you for your time.
Thank you, Madam
President. Just real short, I just want to welcome the junior class. We had a good day today. I really appreciate everybody's attendance. Had a lot of great questions, and it was great to see that many people engaged on the individuals and what is exactly going on in their city. So I just want to thank you and welcome your work. And that is all, Madam President.
Thank you. Auditors report.
Thank you, Madam President. I just wanted to remind everyone that I had sent out the April 2014 month-end reports on May 1st, so if you did not receive those, please let me know.
Thank you. Treasurer's report.
Madam President, I had a student this afternoon, I made her work, so I'll have a much better report the next time.
Law Director's report. Thank you. Safety Service Director's report.
Thank you, Madam President. We did have a real good day with the kids today. A lot of fun. Took them around. I had 4 or 5 of them. Went to Mr. Crowley, drove around, showed them all the stuff. I think the least thing they liked was the sewer plant, though. We took them through there, but we showed them the whole city. As Roseanne talked about the race, make sure, be careful. We go down basically from Wendy's on Perry Street to Buckeye, Buckeye State, State Maple, Maple to 3rd. So through that 10 o'clock range on Sunday, be a lot of traffic there. Please watch out for the runners. I know Chief will be out here helping out. We have, I think the fire department's going to help a little bit. And I was going to tag on with you, Roseanne. If volunteers want to meet up at the pier to help us block streets, we're more than happy to have some adults up there. That'd be great.
I'm gathering some up.
Okay, so it's a good time with 200 people. We want to keep everybody safe at this race. It's a good time as far as the time goes for that. So you end up at Abbott Street. So that area will be congested at that time, so please watch out. Obviously, Fulton Street's moving forward. That's closed right now between 4th and 6th, basically. People have to go out through the hospital in the back. Tomorrow, I believe it will be closed on Railroad Street. So Railroad, anybody living in that side on Short and everything needs to go towards the back way to the hospital and go out 6th Street. That will still be open. We'll keep that open. Only one day on that tomorrow. Then 4th will be open again as it is. So the barricades will be north of the viaduct. Is that correct, Chief? Correct. North of the viaduct, so Pat's Party Mart will be fine, and so will Belmont's. But just in that area, people need to turn and use 3rd Street as an alternate up to Jefferson. The only other thing I have, the guys are out patching the streets right now. Next week we'll get ready for the Walleye Festival. We put the snow fence up. Please cross that crosswalk. Don't cross along the fence line, please. And we also, just so I'm getting all kinds of phone calls for T-ball. T-ball sign up for ages 5 and 6. You can drop those off at City Hall. We'll start that on May 29th. Thank you, Madam President.
Police Chief's report.
Thank you, Madam President. For those that aren't aware, National Police Week began May 11th and it goes through the 17th. President Kennedy in 1962 proclaimed May 15th as National Law Enforcement Day. Our annual local our local memorial will be held in Danbury Thursday, the 15th at 11 o'clock. And I too would like to thank the kids for showing up today, especially Police Chief Keegan Lowe, and under the excellent tutelage of Law Director Wilbur, they found the 2 students guilty. And that's all I have. Thank you, Madam President.
Under correspondence this evening, I have the Parks, Recreation, and Cemetery minutes of April 8th, the Planning and Development minutes of May 6th, and the auditor's report which you received by email. Do I have a motion to accept the correspondence as stated?
So moved, Madam President.
Thank you, Mr. Snyder, and a second from Mr. Wheeler.
Sure.
Okay. I thought I saw your all those in favor?
Aye.
Thank you. We will now go to the reading of ordinances and resolutions. We have no third readings, so we go to the second readings of ordinance and resolutions. Would the clerk please read by title and summary only? Ordinance 10-14.
Ordinance 10-14, an ordinance to authorize and direct the mayor of the city of Port Clinton to procure WSOS Community Action Commission to prepare and submit an application to the Ohio Department of Development for $575,000 under the fiscal year 2014 Community Housing Impact and Preservation Program and declaring an emergency.
Does council wish to take any action this evening on ordinance 10-14? Mr. Snyder.
Thank you, Madam President. I'd like to make a motion that we waive the 3 required readings on the ordinance.
I have a motion to waive the 3 required readings on ordinance 1014. Do I have a second? Motion. Thank you, Mr. Trolley. Any discussion about the waiving of the readings? Mr. Schneider.
Thanks. Earlier this evening, we had a presentation from WSOS, and we're up against the deadline to get this done, as well as the ordinance we talked about later tonight.
Any other discussion? The clerk please call the roll.
Jerry Trolley?
Yes.
Lisa Sardi? Yes. Mike Snyder?
Yes.
Nicole Fridas?
Yes.
Gabe Velo?
Yes.
Ron Ackerman?
Yes.
Thank you. Does council wish to take any further action on ordinance 1014? Mr. Snyder.
Thank you, Madam President. I'd like to make a motion that we retain the emergency clause on the ordinance.
I have a motion to retain the emergency clause on ordinance 1014. Do I have a second?
A second.
Thank you, Mrs. DeFreitas. Any discussion? Will the clerk please call the roll?
Ron Ackerman?
Yes.
Gabe Velo?
Yes.
Nicole Fridas?
Yes.
Mike Snyder?
Yes.
Lisa Sardi?
Yes.
Jerry Trolley?
Yes.
Thank you. Does council wish to take any further action on ordinance 10-14? Mr. Snyder.
Thank you, Madam President. I'd like to make a motion that we adopt ordinance 10-14.
I have a motion to adopt ordinance 1014. Do I have a second? Thank you, Mr. Trolley. Is there any discussion? Seeing none, will the clerk please call the roll?
Jerry Trolley?
Yes.
Nicole Fridas?
Yes.
Lisa Sardi?
Yes.
Ron Ackerman?
Yes.
Gabe Velo?
Yes.
Mike Snyder?
Yes.
Thank you. Ordinance 10-14 has been adopted. As we move into new readings of ordinances and resolutions, I need a motion to put resolution 1403 on tonight's agenda. I have a motion to add resolution 1403 to tonight's agenda. Do I have a second? Thank you, Mrs. Sardi. Any discussion? Seeing none, will the clerk please call the roll?
Gabe Velo?
Yes.
Lisa Sardi?
Yes.
Ron Ackerman?
Yes.
Jerry Trolley?
Yes.
Mike Snyder?
Yes.
Nicole Fridas?
Yes.
Thank you. Resolution 14-03 has been added. The clerk please read by title and summary only, ordinance 11-14.
Ordinance 11-14, an ordinance amending ordinance number 40-13 of the city of Port Clinton and adjusting accounts within the city of Port Clinton.
Does council wish to take any action this evening on ordinance 11-14? Mr. Schneider.
Thank you, Madam President. I'd like to make a motion that we waive the 3 required readings on the ordinance.
I have a motion to waive the 3 required readings on ordinance 11-14. Do I have a second? Thank you, Mr. Trolley. Any discussion on the waiving of the readings? Mr. Snyder.
Thank you, Madam President. And I will defer to Mr. Hardlaw, the conversation we had earlier today. Correct me if I say something wrong.
Mr. Hack.
Well, I said something wrong. Thank you. See if everybody's still awake. The city received a grant in relationship to funding of the Fulton Street project. It was an unexpected grant, a windfall of a good amount of money, and this ordinance is simply a process-related ordinance, so the books match up with the other meeting.
Originally, we were awarded these funds, as Mr. Snyder said, for the Fulton Street project. In order for us to actually pay the contractor and expend these funds, they have to be added to our appropriations ordinance, and that's why we're asking for that.
Any further discussion? Will the clerk please call the roll?
Jerry Trolley?
Yes.
Lisa Sardi?
Yes.
Mike Snyder?
Yes.
Nicole Fridas?
Yes.
Gabe Velo?
Yes.
Ron Ackerman?
Yes.
Thank you. Does council wish to take any further action on ordinance 11-14? Mr. Snyder.
Thank you, Madam President. I'd like to make a motion that we adopt the ordinance.
I have a motion to adopt ordinance 11-14. Do I have a second? Thank you, Mr. Trolley. Any discussion? Seeing none, will the clerk please call the roll?
Mike Snyder?
Yes.
Jerry Trolley?
Yes.
Nicole Fridas?
Yes.
Ron Ackerman?
Yes.
Lisa Sardi?
Yes.
Gabe Velo?
Yes.
Thank you. Ordinance 11-14 has passed. The clerk please read by title and summary only, ordinance 12-14.
Ordinance 12-14, an ordinance to approve the Community Housing Impact and Preservation 2014 Joint cooperating agreement between the City of Port Clinton and Ottawa County, and to authorize and direct the Director of Safety and Service to execute the agreement and declaring an emergency.
Does council wish to take any action this evening on ordinance 12-14? Mrs. Sardi.
Yes, we move that we waive the 3 readings.
I have a motion to waive the 3 required readings on ordinance 12-14. Do I have a second?
Second.
Thank you, Mr. Trolley. Any discussion on the waiving of the readings? Mr. Snyder.
Thank you. Say that with such enthusiasm.
I know.
Again, this is just in conjunction with the ordinance we passed earlier in the conversation that we all heard with WSOS earlier tonight.
Yes. Any further discussion? Will the clerk please call the roll?
Mike Snyder?
Yes.
Lisa Sardi?
Yes.
Gabe Velo?
Yes.
Jerry Trolley?
Yes.
Ron Ackerman?
Yes.
Dakota Freitas?
Yes.
Thank you. Does council wish to take any further action on ordinance 12-14? Mr. Ackerman.
Yes, Madam President, I would like to make a motion that we retain the emergency clause on ordinance 12-14.
Thank you. I have a motion to retain the emergency clause on ordinance 12-14. Do I have a second?
I'll second.
Thank you, Mrs. DeFreitas. Any discussion? Will the clerk please call the roll?
Dakota Freitas?
Yes.
Jerry Trolley?
Yes.
Gabe Velo?
Yes.
Lisa Sardi?
Yes.
Ron Ackerman?
Yes.
Mike Snyder?
Yes.
Thank you. Does council wish to take any further action on ordinance 12-14? Mr. Ackerman.
Thank you, Madam President. I would like to make a motion that council adopt ordinance 12-14.
I have a motion to adopt ordinance 12-14. Do I have a second, Mr. Velo?
Seconded, Madam President.
Thank you. Any discussion? Mr. Ackerman.
Thank you, Madam President. As councilman for Ward 1, which the West End Conestoga neighborhood is in, I'd like to say that this program has done an excellent job for the community, and continuing this program for the City of Port Clinton and County of Ottawa is something that's extremely important, and I'm happy to be able to vote to approve that we adopt this one.
I also want to let you know, and I think I talked about it before, this is the first time that we've entered into a cooperative agreement with the county to run the community housing impact and preservation program. This was an incentive program designed by the Ohio Department of Development. And because we are jointly doing this together, we each received an additional, if we are awarded, we will each receive an additional $50,000 in our grant. So it's a good thing. Any further discussion? Mr. Buell.
Thank you, Madam President. In the agreement document that accompanied ordinance 12-14, it spoke about procuring an administrator for that grant. Who would that,
No, will be the city.
is that individual who's already part of the staff, right?
The administrative assistant, Jennifer Porter, has always been in charge of that. I think it just made logical sense for us to continue in that function, since there's a big shift going on in planning department of the county. That was the person who used to take care of that. So we just thought that those better fits since we had some experience on that.
No further questions.
Anyone else? Would the clerk please call the roll?
Ron Ackerman?
Yes.
Gabe Velo?
Yes.
Mike Snyder?
Yes.
Jerry Trolley?
Yes.
Dakota Freitas?
Yes.
Lisa Sardi?
Yes.
Thank you. Ordinance 12-14 has been adopted. Before we go any further, since we have students here tonight, before we go to the resolution, I just wanted to let them know what, first we're waiving the 3 required readings, and that's because all ordinances that appear on the City Council docket are required to be read 3 times. It allows for community input. If there's a time-sensitive issue, as we've seen tonight with several of these ordinances, because we're writing a grant that's due in June, we will then waive the 3 required readings. The other thing that we do is retain the emergency clause. And what an emergency clause does is it puts the ordinance into effect immediately upon the adoption of the ordinance. If that clause is not in the ordinance sits on the books for 30 days, and it's allowed to be challenged by the public. So sometimes you'll see us do something that declaring an emergency, so it goes into effect right away. And again, they're on these particular ordinances because again, it's a time-sensitive issue that needs to be done by June 6th. You saw that we did the one that we waived the 3 required readings and we adopted it. There was no emergency legislation, and that's because it's a fiscal issue. And when it's a fiscal issue, it's not required to sit on the books for 3 years. It has to be. It's just my little bit story. Teaching was my teaching moment, yes. We will now go to the reading of resolution number 14-03. A resolution to appropriate funds for the purpose of decoration of graves, conducting memorial services, and otherwise engaging in activities appropriate for the celebration of Memorial Day 2014. Does council wish to take any action this evening on resolution number 14-03? Mr. Snyder.
Thank you, Madam President. I'd like to make a motion that we waive the 3 required readings on the resolution.
I have a motion to waive the 3 required readings on resolution number 14-03. Do I have a second?
Second.
Thank you, Mr. Trolley. Any discussion on the waiving of the readings? Mr. Snyder.
Again, this is a time-sensitive issue. These funds we use Memorial Day weekend by the American Legion for their events on Memorial Day weekend.
And we do appropriate the money, and the money is there. However, the request from the American Legion just came in, so that's why it's being added to the next agenda. Does council wish to take any further action on resolution number 14?
We've got the way.
Okay. Would the clerk please call the roll?
Lisa Sardi? Yes. Gabe Velo?
Yes.
Ron Ackerman?
Yes.
Jerry Tiroli?
Yes.
Mike Snyder?
Yes.
Nicole Fridas?
Yes.
Thank you. Does council wish to take any further action on resolution number 14-03? I'll look over Mr.
Thank you, Madam President. I move that we adopt resolution 14-03.
I have a motion to adopt resolution number 14-03. Do I have a second? I'll second. Thank you, Mrs. DeFreitas. Any discussion? Will the clerk please call the roll?
Gabe Velo?
Yes.
Ron Ackerman?
Yes.
Mike Snyder?
Yes.
Nicole Fridas?
Yes.
Jerry Tiroli?
Yes.
Lisa Sardi?
Yes.
Thank you. Resolution 14-03 is passed. We'll now go to business from the floor. And I would just like to say just a couple things. Even though we talked about it a couple times tonight, and that's on May 25th, is the Walleye 5K walk and run. If you feel like you want to walk or run, you are more than welcome to get your little shoes out there and join us. If you would like to volunteer, we certainly would appreciate it. It does not take a lot of time. Where we need the most volunteers is in traffic control. And once the runners come to your spot and leave, you can go. If you're right in the beginning, it's like 10 minutes out of your day. If you happen to pick the end of the race, you're on there a little bit longer. But really we had some difficulties last year, particularly down in the neighborhoods with cars just pulling out of their driveway and not watching for the runners. So we really like to step up the volunteers down that 3rd Street corridor. So if you would like to volunteer, please join us at the Jefferson Street Pier at 9 o'clock on May 25th. We'd love to have you, and we'd love to have you run too. We'd like to do that. Do you have anything you'd like to say? No. Okay. Mr. Snyder.
Thank you, Madam President. Two things this evening. Last fall, the Port Clinton Fire Department and Port Clinton Police Department competed in a friendly softball game, with the winner having the honor of playing the Port Clinton High School girls in a softball game. That game, weather permitting, will take place next Wednesday, the 21st, at 4 p.m. at the high school field. Mr. Holman and a few others have agreed to umpire the game. If you'd like to come out and watch, again, it's at 4 o'clock, weather permitting, and it's not only the weather for that day, the girls' schedule, because of the rain we've been having, keeps getting pushed back. So 4 o'clock next Wednesday at the high school. The 4th of July committee will meet tomorrow evening at 6 p.m. across the street at Lock, Dock, and Barrel. More faces are welcome to show up. We're planning again for this year's 4th of July celebration here in the area. I am very, very excited to announce that the Ohio State University Marching Band will be making another return trip to our area. Don't panic, it's not Portland. They'll be going to Marblehead Lakeside on Friday night, November 7th, on their way up to East Lansing, Michigan, and a football game that next night. We just got the confirmation last Thursday, so we're working out all the details, but in a nutshell, there will be a concert at Hoover Auditorium that Friday night. It happens to be the 11th week of high school football, so unless area schools make the playoffs, it'll be a good time had. I'll get more information out as we learn more. Emergency Services Olympics, it just so happens you don't often get the competitors to come to a council meeting. It just so happens one of the events that took place earlier in the year, the taco eating contest, we have the 2 competitors of that event. Mr. Mayor, would you like to fill us in on how that turned out and who your competitor was?
It's a very relaxing event. It's a privilege to be a young man who decided to just basically bad ref. I hope you didn't know they're talking a lot of smack. Alan, would you agree with that statement? But leave it to the elders to teach the young ones. And, he was taught very well. I don't think it was just a win, it was more of a spanking.
Pretty close to doubled up his taco consumption.
Pretty much.
I say that now, but when I was sitting at the table, it wasn't before that.
He wasn't saying much other than I need to.
It was only 4 tacos. You could have just eaten the 4 tacos.
Exactly.
And I have my student will make one final statement. Let me stand up. You want to do that?
I'd like to have the Finance Committee meet next Tuesday at 6:30 p.m. in the conference room here at City Hall. And I will definitely be in attendance at this meeting next week because I cannot about 6
He wrote that on his own. Thank you, Madam President.
Thank you, Mr. Ackerman.
Madam President, I'm going to defer my time to Cal. He's going to make an announcement for us, please. Thank you, Cal.
Reminder, keep open August 2nd for the annual West End Clear on Parade basketball tournament and community picnic.
Thank you.
Thank you very much, Madam President.
Mrs. Sargent.
I'd just like to thank the Main Street Chamber for everything that you do and coming in tonight and updating us on what's been going on. Also, I'd like to welcome the government students. It's nice to see you here. And on Saturday, they had the beach cleanup. Mr. Colston, Mr. Lloyd, Mr. Scatchback was there, volunteers, city workers. I'd like to thank everybody, volunteers, for showing up. And we took a lot of trash and twigs. I didn't get to the beach cleanup. I got to stand in the car. Mrs. Phillips is not here tonight. Asked me to announce the next long rules and ordinance meeting. We'll be in the conference room at City Hall. It's on the 4th Tuesday of the month, and the next one will be May 27th at 6:30.
Thank you, Madam President. Mr. Terrell and I will defer our time to Mr. Terrell and Ms. Conrad. Nothing tonight.
Mr. Curley.
My student was prepared to give my announcements, but all of a sudden he got laryngitis. He hasn't had emergency services will meet next Tuesday at 5:30. Also, the Friends of the Cemetery would like to thank everyone that participated in our antique appraisal. It was quite a success. We plan to do another one in the fall, but more information to follow. We did set the date for our chicken barbecue. That's July 13th, Sunday, at Adams Street Gazebo, and more information to follow later on. Thank you.
Mrs. DeFreitas.
Yeah, I just real quick wanted to say that Lake Erie Shores and Islands, I don't know if you've seen their new campaign for this year. It's called Lake Erie Love. They are going to be doing a kickoff of that campaign on May 21st. It's next Thursday at Doc's Beach House. The singer, who is from Nashville, is called Walker Hayes, that sings the Lake Erie Love song. If you haven't heard it, you can go on YouTube. It's actually pretty catchy. It's stuck in your head. He will be at Doc's Beach House performing, and everyone's welcome to stop out and listen. So I wanted to say that. And Gabriel has a little quick announcement also.
Yes, the next infrastructure meeting will take place on June 3rd at 6:30 p.m. here at City Hall. Please come learn about all the glamorous work they're up to.
And Mackenzie's going to make a quick announcement, even though Lisa has. She's going to do something quick here for Ms. Phillips.
I'd like to reiterate that there will be a laws, rules, and ordinance meeting on May 27th at 6:30 p.m. here at City Hall.
Really want people to be
Now, come learn about laws.
That is all that I have.
Members of the audience. Mr. Yankee.
Jerry Yankee, 117 Cedar Street. I'd like to make a request of the city. CORD has been putting up new signs recently throughout the community, which says SaveWaterworksPark.org. These are the new ones, and we would like to have the city kind of, if there's any violation of the signs being put in the boulevards and you happen to pick them up, if you would kindly save them for us, you know, instead of destroying them like the last time we put up the signs. And also, with those signs, when we put those signs up, we've had over 5,000 hits on our website, SaveWaterworksPark.org. So it's been a real benefit for us. Thank you.
Mr. Finke.
Don Finke, 222 Adams Street. This is directed to the political students here tonight. CORD would encourage you to always hold your political representatives accountable for what they say and do. That is your charge for being good citizens. Secondly, we saw tonight some time-sensitive issues. Remember that time-sensitive issues could sometimes be so because of poor planning. Thank you.
Anybody else this evening? Mr. Hank.
Hi, I'm Henry Happ. I just bought property on 528 Fremont Road. Okay? I got a question about some land issues behind my property. The property has supposedly a 15-foot right-of-way behind it. And according to the deeds of all three properties, it's all stated there that there's a 15-foot right-of-way. As of right now, there is no right-of-way behind that property. It has been blocked off. I guess that what I'm here for is to find out why and what kind of answers I can get. Would you like to see the deeds?
No, Mr. Hatt, if you would set up an appointment with Mr. Miller.
Okay.
He said he would sit down and talk to you.
When do you want to make an appointment?
Call in the morning, I'll give you a card with my number on it.
Okay, can I get the card and number now? Okay.
Anyone else this evening?
My name's James Stewart. Everybody knows me, Herbie. I want to know what you got to do.
Mr. Stewart, could you state your address for the clerk?
319 Linden Street. And that's what I'm here to talk about, is the condition of the 300 block Linden Street. Now y'all sitting here on council, oh yeah, we've heard how bad Linden Street is. Drive down Linden Street, the 300 block. I mean, it's one hole right into the other hole. You know, I go to all these Conestoga meetings. They taught us to, you know, have pride in the community, your neighborhood. You know, keep your property looking good. How can you have pride living on Linden Street? I mean, if you've not been down that street in the last 3 months, drive down it, drive back up the other side just to get the full effect of it. I mean, it's awful. I mean, it's, I've got people down in Tennessee that the last 300-400 yards going to their houses up a creek bed. They told me my street's awful, and it is. Robbie knows. Robbie's his second worst street in town. But I mean, the street is awful. And I just, you know, I've paid taxes there 40 years. I own 3 lots, 12, 14, and 16, 319 Linden Street. And if y'all can ride down that street and say that something don't need to be done, I mean, it's got to be the worst street in town. And you know, right now, maybe I could get a permit for a boat ramp. You know, it looks like a lake down through there, but it's either water or it's dust and mud. I mean, it's mud or dust. And I just like, I'd like somebody in the city to do something about this street. I mean, I've lived there 40 years, paid taxes 40 years. That's all I need to say about it, I guess, but thank you.
Anyone else this evening? Mr. Madison.
John Madison, 903 Fulton Street. I just wanted to thank you all for doing what you're doing. I know it takes a lot of your personal time, and a lot of times we don't stop and thank our council members, and I just want you to know I think you're doing a great job, and thank you very much.
Anyone else this evening?
Roseanne Hickman, 317 Walnut. The Fraternal Order of Police Associates Lodge number 34 will have a dunk tank at the Wildlife Fest, and I need dunkers. I need people willing to be dunked. So if you want to be dunked, all right, see me after this. I need dunkers. I thought Jerry would announce it, but he missed it. We are raising money for a scholarship fund for graduates in Ottawa County. So we are doing our best to create a scholarship fund. So this is one of the ways we can do it. So you guys just heard it. Some of your friends are going to be dunkers. So save your dollars to come down and dunk them, please. See me after this. Okay, thank you.
No bidding.
Anybody else this evening? Mr. Noter.
Rick Noter, 608 East Perry Street. Mr. Snyder said that the resolution to have the money to decorate the veterans' graves for Memorial Day was a time-sensitive issue. And I'd just like to ask him, did Memorial Day come a month or two early this year?
Well, here was the issue, Mr. Noter. We had the money appropriated, but we have to wait till they ask for it. And we just got the ask from the American Legion.
Did anybody contact them earlier? Tell them that they had to do that?
Yeah, they know, but we just got it, and
okay.
It happens every year this way. They've known for years.
Yeah, I know.
So that was why it was time sensitive. Memorial Day will come before our next meeting.
Okay. May I ask another question?
Sure.
Yeah, okay. I'd like to ask Councilman Bilo, I believe in your committee meeting, you talked about community reinvestment areas, is that right?
Correct.
CRA?
Yes.
And that's a method by which business property owners can invest money in their property and have tax abatement so they don't have to pay taxes for a certain period of time. Is that right?
On the improved value of the property.
On the improved value of
so
the property.
we're looking at not just business owners, but property owners. So it could be residential and fall within the downtown district as well. It's something we consider.
Ah. Okay, thank you.
Sure.
Anybody else this evening?
Mr. Snyder, I'll take a motion to adjourn.
Thank you, Mr. President. I would like to make a motion that this August body adjourn.